One. Hi Digital Arts. This is the last tutorial that I'm going to do about photo manipulation. So in this tutorial, you're going to be using the black and white image of Chloe Grace. And we learned in the eye tutorial that you can use the elliptical marquee to select the portion you want to colorize, and then you'd go up to adjustments, hue and saturation, check mark colorize. But you notice that when I do that, it turns everything into a color. So I could do that, but then I'd have to painstakingly select each little item that I want to color and then colorize it and then change the color. That's just way too much work. So I'm going to show you an easier way. And this would be more for a black and white photo that has a lot of detail in it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the layers palette. We're going to go ahead and add a new layer. And then down here where it says toggle layer settings, you're going to go ahead and click on that. And it brings up the opacity. We don't want to make the layer transparent, so we're going to keep that at 100. The mode is what the key is. So you want to go ahead and set the mode down to overlay. And if you don't see it right away, it's because the menu is really long. Just scroll down and click on overlay. So one thing about the brush, you can easily choose a different size or style up in the options bar. But a little shortcut if you want to make the brush bigger and you don't have to go up into the options bar is by using the period key on your keyboard. If you just tap the period key, you can make your brush bigger. If you tap the comma key, you can make your brush smaller. That's just a little trick to play with. So now what you're going to do is you're going to colorize everything in this photo. And I don't care if you want to make her look like a model or you want to make her look like an alien from, I don't know, Pandora or something like that. It's up to you. My goal is just for you to find out how to colorize black and white. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, and we're going to do her lips first. So go up down into the toolbar, click on the main color palette, and you can choose any color you want. And hit OK. So what you'll notice is because it's on overlay, it's not going to paint the way you think it will be. It will actually be very transparent already. And you'll also notice that if you go up into the black portion, it doesn't do much of anything in there. And it's the same with any white. So that's what overlay means. If I set the mode to normal, it basically just paints right over it. It doesn't look natural at all. So that's why you want it to be an overlay. So I'm going to go ahead and just color over and give her some pretty lip gloss. If you wanted to, you could, say you're really ambitious and you want to make her makeup look really feathery and subtle. You could make the opacity a little bit less. But again, that's not really my goal here right now. Say you go over, just use the eraser and you can clean up anything you want. So we're going to go over to her eyes now. And again, I'm going to choose a different color. This time I'm going to make the brush just a little bit smaller so I don't accidentally go over. And you see right when I pass over the white, it stays white, but any grays that are in there turned purple. All right, so we're going to color her skin, and for that, I'm actually going to use a different layer. So I'm going to add another layer. Again, you want to set that to overlay. And the reason why I'm using a different layer is just because if I go over, I don't want to accidentally have to erase the lips or anything like that. So just choose a color that's kind of close to a skin tone if you're doing more of a realistic. There's a lot of skin to color, so I'm going to go ahead and make that a big brush. And what's cool about coloring this way is that you can see that it keeps any shadows, any highlights, so you don't have to worry about trying to make it look realistic because it already does that for you. If you accidentally go over the lips again, you can just erase. Now her hands are pretty light, so you're really not going to see much of any color. And I'm going to use the eraser and just kind of clean up any areas where I went too far into the hair. Like that. Okay, and then I will choose color for her hair. Maybe a darker brown. And again, it's a little narrower, so I'm going to just make my brush a little bit smaller as I go. There we go. Her eyes look a little not so interesting, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little makeup to it. Let's do some green. And that's where I might want to set the opacity down just a little bit, so it's not too. Just kind of play around. You can add a little bit of blush, really make the opacity go down. Just kind of play around a little bit. See how cool that looks. That's pretty much it. You can color it however you want, like I said. Once you have it completely colored, and I mean everything needs to be colored in some way or another, then you're going to go ahead and just save it and attach it into Google Classroom, and you are finished. Don't forget to go back into your notes and describe exactly what you did to color the black and white photo, including adding layers, how you did overlays, where you got overlays, things like that. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Make sure you do your reflection as well.